What up, peeps? Welcome to a new pickup video. Now, before we jump into it, I wanted to tell you guys first off that I already tried to record this video and I got about 2/3 of the way done, and then my camera reset itself. And when it came back on, I checked to see where it had stopped recording, and there was no recording at all. And it was definitely going, so I don't know what happened, but I switched to SD cards. I was using a micro SD with an adapter, and I've had one issue before doing that, so I switched to a regular SD card. Unfortunately, the card that I switched to does not support 4K, so I have to I'm recording in the highest possible quality that I can before 4K that this card will allow, so I do want to apologize for that. So if it seems like I'm rushing through anything, that's probably why, because I've already said all this stuff. Second, I wanted to say, just apologize in advance that some of the items I have to show you here were sent in from some of you guys, and we just get so many packages at the store, and Abby deals with the majority of communication through Facebook or Instagram with you guys that I simply cannot remember the names of everyone who has sent stuff in, and I just wanted to apologize up front. If you see something that you sent in, obviously you know who you are, and I want you to know that I am very thankful, and I do definitely appreciate it. And I just, we always make sure to thank everyone when we open them in the vlogs and we check everything out. But some of this stuff has been sitting back here in the game room for a month, so it just gets a little difficult to remember where everything came from. Even some of the stuff that I bought, I don't know where it came from, you know what I mean? So just wanted to apologize up front for not remembering everyone's name, but it is appreciated. So let's just jump into it. We have a ton of stuff here to go through. So first up, I'm going to insert a clip here, and these are all the action figures that I picked up. The 2 Metal Gear ones came from Ryan. He traded them into the store. And then all of the Street Fighter ones came from my buddy John. Picked those up from him during PRGE, and some pretty cool stuff in there. That is a full set of those Street Fighter ones, which is really, really awesome. There's still some more Metal Gear ones I'd have to get to complete that set. Those 2 were just ones that Ryan had as doubles. He got condition upgrades, so pretty cool stuff. So thank you to John and Ryan for those. And then what my plan is, those are the only big items I didn't have room to store them here and show you guys. So my plan is to go through all of the other accessories, systems, toys, all that kind of stuff, and then once I finish that, we'll just have all the games to go through. So we have a Nintendo Switch water bottle, and then also a Super Mario 64 radio clock. Very, very cool. This was sent in by one of you guys, so thank you. And I had a bunch of stuff like this. I never had this particular clock, but I had a bunch of like the walkie-talkies and the different radios and the cassette players and stuff for like N64 and GameCube, and I decided to get rid of them all because they were taking up a lot of room in the game room. And you guys know that I like to collect stuff with the original packaging. In most cases that means getting something with the original cardboard box. However, with something like this, it comes in a blister pack, so the only way to really get it with the packaging is to get it sealed. And so that was my plan when I got rid of everything, because it was really piling up. I would find them at Goodwill all the time. So I was like, I'm going to get rid of them and just try to re-get them sealed, but never go out of my way, of course, because I'm more focused on the games. But this is really, really cool. Super Mario 64 is my favorite game, so that is super awesome. Thank you so much. And then we have a little heart container jar. And then 2 little Pac-Man toys here. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. They're wind-up toys. The Pac-Man one I might already have. I wasn't sure, so I just brought both of them home. And which, if I already have one, I'll just take one back to the store. Then I have 3 factory-sealed booster packs for e-reader cards. 2 of these came in through the store, and one of them I picked up at Retro Game Trader in Beaverton. So this is Urban Champion, Balloon Fight, and Baseball. Pretty cool. These are the only ones that I have in the collection so far, and they are actually pretty cheap, so it might be really cool to try and complete that set. But very happy with those. I love the packaging too. Next up, we have the Dragon Quest Slime controller for the Nintendo Switch. Abby bought this. This is a Japanese controller. Here's the box for it and everything. I believe she got this off of Amazon. Abby buys a ton of stuff on Amazon, if you guys didn't know. And some stuff, you know, especially when she buys like clothing or shoes or whatever it is, a lot of that stuff, you know, you have to return it if it doesn't fit or just whatever it is. And with Amazon, you can either get your money back or you can get basically an Amazon gift card. Abby always picks the gift card, and so every now and then she has a little bit of money saved up, and that's what she did, and she used it to get that slime controller, which is super cool. So, next up, I'm just going to go through all the accessories, and then we'll get to the two systems, and then go to games from there. We have the NES Super Controller from Bandai. This is factory sealed. Basically, it's like a little plastic shell that goes over the NES controller, and it gives you the option for like an actual joystick rather than just a D-pad, which is kind of cool. Has an unpunched hang tab, very rare. Then we have the battery adapter for the Virtual Boy. This is the Japanese version. And I bought a bunch of these off of eBay, I think 3 of them, like in the box, to just use the battery adapter with our Virtual Boys, which we ended up selling 4 of the 5 at PRGE. And after buying these off of eBay, I got a controller locally that came with one, so this ended up being an extra, and I just decided to add it to the collection since it has the box and everything. Kind of a cool little accessory. Then, these next 2 came into the store randomly, and I was very happy. We have the Turbo Tap for the TurboGrafx-16. Box is kind of coming apart right there, but I can always re-glue that. These are the first TurboGrafx accessories in the collection. The other one is the controller, the Turbo Pad. So pretty cool. I don't even have a system yet, and I barely have any games for it, but I only collect complete in box, so until I find a boxed TurboGrafx, I won't have a system. But yeah, I thought that was super cool. Never find stuff like that. Then we have a wireless controller, GameCube style, for the Nintendo Switch. I don't even remember where this one came from. It either came into the store or I found it at a Goodwill. I honestly don't remember. And then these next 2 were picked up by Abby at PRGE. She got the boxed Spice Orange Japanese GameCube controller to go along with her boxed Spice Orange Japanese GameCube system. And then to complete the set, she got the box for the Spice Orange Game Boy player. She already has the Orange Game Boy player, so this box completes it, and now we have a full set all complete in box, which is super, super cool. Last accessory, I have the specialized control pad for the PlayStation 1. It's made by ASCIIware, I think is how you pronounce it, but it's officially licensed, and typically I don't really go after third-party accessories. You know, sometimes in the case of something like this, or like this, when they're officially licensed, you know, I kind of make an exception, especially if I get them really cheap. Like, I'm not going after the Mad Catz controllers for N64, but this one is officially licensed. I thought it was kind of cool. You know, I've never even seen this controller in person, so I was like, yeah, I'll hold on to it. The box is in amazing condition. So, we have 2 systems. First one here is the Pokemon Edition Switch Lite. This is actually Abby's. She bought this, pre-ordered it from Best Buy, I believe. And then she also got the Persona Q 3DS XL. And this is complete in box, like new. Not new. We can tell it's not new when we open it, since we've opened a couple new ones, so we know exactly what to look for. This one was not new, but it's like new. And her goal is to try and get 1 new 3DS system complete in box per Portland Retro Gaming Expo. So this year she got the Persona Q one. I think last year she got one of the Zelda ones. We have so many now, it's hard to remember where they all come from, though. Alright, so there's a few other things that I'm not showing, just like a couple lanyards that we got, and Abby got like an Attack on Titan plushie or something. So a few things like that I'm not showing because there's no need to. And then also, I forgot a box of stuff at the game store that was supposed to be in this pickup video, and so you're going to see that in the next pickup video, but yeah, there was like the Katamari reroll for Switch, like in the big box with the plushie. Abby actually gave that digital code away on her Instagram because we have a physical copy here as well. So that I left at the store on accident, so you'll see it in the next one. So, we have a ton of games to get through, and I'm going to do these, you know, try to save the best for last like I usually do. So first up, we have 2 PSP games. We have Lumen's Puzzle Fusion. This is a factory sealed copy. Then also Mega Man X Maverick Hunter. This one came into the store game only, and then we already had the case of manual to complete it, which is pretty cool. And I actually think that this game we got like 6 months ago in that big storage unit buy from the guy that brought a whole van load of stuff. I think the game was in there, and we only recently started kind of going through it, so got those. I don't really add too many PSP games to the collection, but anytime I get a sealed one I don't have, I'll keep that, and then Mega Man was just too cool to pass up. So moving on to the Wii U. As you guys might know, I finished the Wii U set, minus variants, of course, so I'm still looking for variants, and then I'm also looking for, like, if I have a sealed copy, I want to get an opened copy, or if I have an opened copy, I'd like to also get a sealed copy. I never go out of my way to find sealed copies, and now that I finished the set, I'm not really going out of my way to get any Wii U games, but these ones all came to the store. So, we have a sealed copy of Lego Dimensions. My previous one was the big box version. I didn't have a single case like this, and this one is sealed, so pretty cool. And then also a sealed copy of Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. I am like unofficially going for a factory sealed set of Wii U because literally I'm over halfway there already without even trying. Most of the games are still super cheap and they're not hard to find. I probably would never go for a factory sealed set of all the variants because, I mean, that would be incredibly difficult, but you never know. Lastly, I have an opened big box Sing Star Party. This comes with the microphone. It's opened, as you can see. My previous one was sealed, so got an opened one. Why not? Alright, moving on. I have one Genesis game. This was also sent in, and this is Subterranea, factory sealed. When I first got it, I was under the impression that it was a more expensive game, because I don't really see this game very often, and I was like, oh, a sealed copy must be expensive, but if you're interested in getting a sealed copy of this, you can actually pick them up on eBay for about $15, which is not bad at all. But thank you to who sent that in. You know who you are. Next up, let's move on to original Xbox, and this one is kind of funny. Actually, every original Xbox game that I have here to show you guys in this video is factory sealed, and I believe that all but maybe one of these came from one person, from one single trade-in. The person that traded these in lives in Guam, but he has family here in Vancouver, and he's always visiting, and they always come into the store, and he said that he bought these from someone who used to own a game store in Guam that closed, and apparently the guy has, like, a ridiculous amount of stuff, like even signage and kiosks and stuff like that, and I'm trying to work with this guy to hopefully try to get something, because he said he's got, like, original Xbox neon signs and all sorts of stuff like that. And obviously getting stuff shipped in from Guam would not be super cheap, but it would be worth it, I think, and it'd be a cool story. So these came from him, so I'm saving the best two for last, but other ones are in no particular order. We have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Lockdown. And like I said, these are all sealed here. Mark Echo's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. Peter Jackson's King Kong. Tomb Raider Legend. NCAA 06 March Madness. This is the one that I think maybe came from somewhere else. And then the last two, Scarface, The World Is Yours. Even an opened copy is like $15, so a sealed one is not super common. And then this one I think is actually cheaper than the Scarface one, but I thought it was cooler to get sealed, and that's The Godfather, the Game Limited Edition. Comes with a slipcover here. The game inside is sealed. The slipcover was never sealed to it, so this is how it would have come new. And I thought that was pretty cool. The reason that I don't have any opened Xbox games to show you is because I have most of the expensive ones. And when it comes to systems that I'm not focusing on, you know, I'm focusing on N64, GameCube, Virtual Boy. Xbox is one that I'm passively collecting for and passively going for a complete set. So the only games that I try to keep if they come into the store are like harder to find ones that I don't have. And since I have most of them, you know, all the filler titles and cheap stuff that comes in, I have no desire to hold on to it right now, because when I am focusing on Xbox, I know it'll be easy to finish that set. I'm already over halfway done with it. You can see a couple of them right here. So I'm actually thinking about focusing on Xbox after I finish the GameCube set. And like I said, the reason is just because I'm already over halfway there, and the majority of what I need are just cheap, you know, $2 games. So, but I am looking forward to doing that. So next up, let's move on to the Nintendo Wii, which also, all these games are factory sealed, and there's nothing special in here. These are all just random ones that have come into the store. We have Barbie as the Island Princess, Lego Batman the video game, Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Your Shape featuring Jenny McCarthy. I have this game already, but the one I have is the big box one that comes with the bands. This is just a regular game. And then probably the coolest one, Pac-Man Party. And then finally Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. So, like I said, I have most of those games probably already opened, but I didn't have sealed copies. So whenever I can, I pick them up. I never look for sealed games, but if I find them for cheap, I will grab them. So, let's go to something a little bit more obscure. I have 3 TurboGrafx-16 games here. And you just saw I picked up the Turbo Tap and the controller. Don't have a system yet, like I said, but before these 3 games, I can see my collection of TurboGrafx over there. I only had 9 games. So, this is a nice little boost to the TurboGrafx collection. First up is Victory Run. And then the other 2 here were actually traded into our booth at PRGE, and these are both TurboGrafx-16 CD games, which I didn't have any of these, of the CD ones, in the collection, so these are really cool to get, and they're both complete in box. We have Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and I do have a protector for this one. I think it's either, I can see there's an empty protector on the shelf. It's either that one, or I left it at the store. But to get these traded in at the booth was really, really cool. And we also have It Came from the Desert, which looks pretty cool. So, very glad to add those to the collection. They're, like, I never add TurboGrafx games in the first place, let alone the CD one. So, I thought that was really, really cool. Next up, we have some DS games. We have a factory sealed Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader Back to School edition, nothing special. Factory sealed Elite Beat Agents. Metal Slug 7 with the slip cover, which is pretty cool. That one's opened. And then this last one here is a sealed game that was sent in as a trade to the store. We have Inuyasha, Secret of the Divine Jewel. And this game sealed is not super cheap. It's not crazy expensive, but for a DS game, it's kind of expensive. So that was kind of cool. And then we have some 3DS games, and every single one here is a not-for-resale cartridge. We just picked these up recently. I showed them in the vlog, but somebody was selling these in a Facebook group for $10 each with free shipping. And when I went to put them into the spreadsheet, I was looking them up, obviously, and $10 each was a good deal. But if you're interested in getting these, if you can't contact the guy, I think it was a Trade Sell Collect Retro Games and Toys Facebook group. So you can search in there for it, but if you can't contact him, you can get the majority of these games off of eBay for between $12 and like $25 shipped. So if you're interested in them, it might not be a bad thing to look out for. I think collecting not-for-resale games is pretty cool. These are the games that are sometimes full games, but most of the time they're like a demo version that would be in the kiosk at the store, so you could try them out. So pretty cool stuff. I'm not going to list them all off individually, but there's those 5, and then those are the rest of them there. So I have, I think, 1 or 2 other DS or 3DS not for resales. I'm going to keep them all in this little case because I'm getting too many of them, and it's not the kind of thing that you can easily display like you could with, a bunch of cases. So, pretty cool stuff. Moving on, I have 2 Virtual Boy games, and one of my goals at PRGE was to try to get as many Virtual Boy games complete in box as I could. I think I went into it with having 3. And so I got 2 more at the show, and I would have had more, but unfortunately the only other ones I saw were either factory sealed, and they were out of my price range, or they were too beat up. And the one that I was, most disappointed about was there was one complete in box copy of Jack Bros, which is the most expensive Virtual Boy game. There was only one of them at the entire show that I saw, and it was the right price, and I would have bought it, but the box was in really, really rough condition. It was too rough for me to want to buy it, unfortunately. But I did get 2 games for the set, so I'm happy with these at least. We have Wario Land, and then this one's kind of harder to find. We have 3D Tetris, and this box is in like near mint condition, so that is really cool. and I do still want to finish this set. It's one of those things where, you know, complete in box Virtual Boy games are probably not going to come into the store, and I'm probably not going to find them at other local stores around here. So my best chance is either expos like PRGE or buying them off of eBay, which I really try to avoid doing because I like getting stuff in person as much as possible. But still very happy with those. I think I need 9 more to complete the set. There's only 14 total, so kind of a small set. So moving on, let's go with the Nintendo Switch. And I have a ton of Switch games here, a lot more than I expected, because I bring home boxes of stuff for the collection, and I bring the box back here, set the box down, and I just keep adding boxes until I'm ready to film a pickup video. So today, before I set up to do this, I was emptying all the boxes and stacking everything up by system, and I was like, man, there's a lot of Switch games here. Our Switch collection has been growing rapidly, and it's not a bad thing. I love the Switch. Abby and I both love the Switch a lot. It's like the only system I've really been playing for the past couple months, but I love it, so I'm going to keep collecting for it. So first up, we have 2 steel books, so there's no cartridges in here, but I believe we might have both of the games already. But Abby picked these up at PRGE. They're marked at $10 each, but I don't know if she got a discount or not, but we have steel books for Slime Sand and Saturday Morning RPG. So pretty cool stuff there. We have a couple other steel books in the collection already. We have a Mario Kart 8 one, and I believe a Let's Go Eevee one. My Switch stuff is right behind the camera there. I'm trying to look. It's kind of hard to see from here, but yeah, I think we have those 2. And then there's like the Shining Resonance one, but that's a steel book type of case, but it's not the same as those. But yeah, we love the Switch. So lots of games here. First up is a factory sealed Yooka-Laylee, which is a limited run game. This is number 13. This game is too expensive for me to open to play it, so when I do get around to it, because I do want to play this game, when I do get to that point, I'm just going to buy a complete copy that's already opened, because this one's too expensive. But this one was a trade-in at the store. Then I have a sealed copy of the Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. This is Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on the Switch. I will be playing this one. This is my sealed copy. I also have an opened one, which you'll see here in a moment. But very, very happy that came out on Switch. I love the Baldur's Gate games. Then we have Thumper, which is another limited run game. This is number 9. This one is opened. Then we have Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition. This one came into the store, and it's just a game that I had never heard of or seen, so decided to hold on to it. And that's kind of how I'm treating the Switch. Like if someone trades in like snipper clips, I'm not going to keep that. I don't think we have it in the collection yet, but it's a game that I'm going to be able to get eventually. But Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition, I've never seen it before, so, you know, in 5 or 10 years when I'm going after Switch stuff more heavily, like, and actually trying to complete a set, that game might not be that easy to find. So those are the kind of ones I'm looking out for and holding on to when they get traded in. We have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. When this game first came out on PS3, I was kind of interested in it because it kind of reminded me of like Champions, Baldur's Gate type thing. And I actually kept this one because I thought Abby would enjoy playing it. She's a big Skyrim fan. She really likes The Witcher. So I think this would kind of be right up her alley. She hasn't played it yet, though. Then we have 2 sealed, kind of limited run type games, but these are from Red Art Games. We have Stay and Old Man's Journey. So they're not from the company Limited Run, but it's one of those limited type companies that is releasing games. Then we have two sealed copies of Link's Awakening. The reason we have 2 of them, and the reason they're both sealed, is because Abby bought these so that we could each play at the same time, and that was the plan, but when she bought these, we were both still playing Moonlighter. So, we do have 2 copies of Moonlighter as well, because for quite a bit there, Abby and I are both playing it at the same time, and that was our plan with this one as well. But when this came out, we're still both playing this one, and she is still playing it. I'm going to go back to it, but I stopped playing Moonlighter to play Forager, which you'll see here in a second as well. So eventually we are both going to play this, most likely, but since we're probably not going to be playing it at the same time now, we'll probably leave one sealed and open one. Next up, we have Slime Sand Super Slime Edition. Another limited run game. This is number 6. This one is opened. The ones that are opened, I didn't buy from limited run. We got them traded into the store. So same with Kingdom New Lands. This one is number 7 from limited run. And I don't know, this one looks pretty cool. I might have to play this. Then we have the opened Baldur's Gate, which, like I said, I can't wait to play. Then Oxenfree, factory sealed from limited run. This is number 10. And then Harvest Moon, Light of Hope. I actually do not remember where this came from. I think Abby bought that. Oh no, Abby bought this from one of the stores on our road trip with Sam to go game hunting. I think it was like 15 bucks. Then we have Luigi's Mansion 3, which is still sealed. We have not played it yet. Planning on it, but you know, get around to it eventually. But there's a lot of stuff in our backlog now. And then Forager, which I've enjoyed so much. This game is a lot of fun, but it's kind of short. For the type of game it is, like an exploration, crafting, survival type game, it is short. I've played 15 hours of this game, and if I played for another probably hour, I could beat it. And I do want to, but it's one of those games where at the very beginning, you have to work for every little thing. You have to hit every tree and every rock to collect the materials. But the farther into the game you get, the more you upgrade your stuff. You can get machines that will automatically mine for you and stuff like that. And it kind of makes the game too easy. I only died once in that game, and it was on accident. It was like, I don't even know what happened. I just wasn't watching my health. And it's a pretty easy game, but it is a lot of fun. Then we have Katamari Damacy Reroll. This is our physical copy, which is opened because we plan on playing this one. And like I mentioned, we have the big box with the plushies at the store still, which is sealed. Then these next two are sealed, but they are digital-only games, which is kind of weird that they released them with cases, but figured why not hold on to them. Excuse me. They came into the store sealed like this. The codes are inside, so the codes are not used. But it's Super Putty Squad and Rally Racers. They're super cheap, so I decided why not hold on to them. They're just kind of, I guess, shelf fillers. If I ever wanted to play the game, you know, I guess I could open it and download them, but I mean, Super Putty looks kind of cool, but, you know, I have no desire to open them, so I'll just keep those for the collection. Then we have PixArk, which is GameStop new, which means it's actually opened. They just put a sticker on the side, which I hate because those stickers leave behind the worst sticky residue that it takes so much effort to get off. But Abby bought this from GameStop. This is basically the Minecraft style of Ark Survival Evolved, and Abby and I have watched multiple hundreds of hours of Ark gameplay from Partially Royal here on YouTube, and we've both played the game as well, but we get a lot more enjoyment out of watching it being played because we're not good at the game. It's really difficult, but Ark is a fantastic game. If you guys have not, I at least recommend checking out some gameplay. And then we also have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition in a little big box here. Abby bought this one as well from GameStop. I think it was like 50 bucks. And then we have 3 more big box games here. We have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Dreamer Edition. And this we did not pre-order, and this sold out everywhere. And then somebody posted in one of the local groups that they were going to the Nintendo store in New York, and they had a bunch of these. And they were like, if anyone wants one, let me know. I'll buy some extras and bring them back. And I was like, I wasn't even quick to comment on that because I didn't see it right when it was posted. So I don't know how, but I commented and I was like, hey, you know, if you happen to get an extra one, I'd be interested. And he did, which was super awesome. And he had someone, he wasn't able to attend PRGE, unfortunately, but he had his buddy bring this to our booth. And so I was able to contact him through Facebook after the show and be like, hey man, I got the game, what's your PayPal? And paid him through that. Gave him a little bit extra for his trouble, which he was more than happy with. He did not ask for that. But yeah, I thought that was super, super cool, and I'm really glad that we actually got one, and because I regretted not pre-ordering it. I believe that I showed you guys the amiibo in the last video, maybe? I don't remember. But there's that one. We do have the amiibo. 2 more Switch games here. We have Gekido Kintaro's Revenge. This is from Red Art Games. This is the collector's edition version. And I got one of these in the mail, and it was crushed. And it was pretty bad. And so I contacted the company, and they were like, oh, we're really sorry about that. We'll take care of it. And I was like, okay, do you want me to send this back? Do you have a return shipping label or whatever? And I never got another reply. Then they sent out a mass email to everyone apologizing, and I guess a bunch of people got these damaged, and a bunch of people were contacting them. And then I never got another reply, and I actually replied to them again, asking if they wanted me to send it back. And then randomly one day, another one showed up in the mail, which is this one, which was in much better packaging, and it's not crushed at all. So that's really cool of Red Art Games to do that. They owned up to the mistake, and they fixed it in the best way possible. They allowed everyone to keep the first copy they got, which was damaged, and then replaced it with a new one. I was more than happy to send back the other one, but they didn't want me to, which, I think that's pretty cool. And got one that's in nice shape for the collection, and now I have a second one that if I want to open it and play it, I won't feel bad about it. And then lastly here we have AI, the Somnium Files Special Agent Edition, which is a really big box here. This is from Spike Chunsoft. This was also sent into the store as a gift for us, which is super, super awesome. I don't think that we want to open this one. Abby was interested in playing it, but she said that she will buy a regular version of it to play because this one is not super cheap, and I've never even heard of this game because I obviously would have tried to, order it if it was like a limited type thing, but very glad that we got that, so thank you to who sent that in. That is super, super awesome. Alright, so this is the point where when I was filming before, my camera messed up. So everything from here on out I have not talked about today, which is nice. So we have a bunch of Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games to go through. So first up, I have just a manual only, and that is for Tom and Jerry in The Infernal Escape. This one was randomly traded into the game store in a bundle of stuff, and this is the only Game Boy item in that whole bundle, and I actually need this manual because I have the box and cartridge already, so what are the chances of that? And then I have manual, cartridge, cardboard insert, and all other paperwork for Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This one came in as a complete copy, but I already had the box actually, but I had box only, so this fully completes my copy, which is super cool. Then we have The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap and Metroid Fusion. These are both condition upgrades for me, so I'll have complete copies of each of those at the store soon. And a couple of these other ones might be condition upgrades as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. So, if any of these are duplicates, one of them will be going back to the store, of course. So we have Classic NES Series Dr. Mario, Classic NES Series Metroid, Classic NES Series Castlevania. I'm trying to see if any of these other ones are the classic ones. No. So then we have Iridian 3D, Mega Man 02, Magical Quest starring Mickey and Minnie, Wario Land 4, Yu-Gi-Oh! Reshef of Destruction with no cards. I always gotta check. Actually, any of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that originally came with cards, I have never found one with the cards. Whether it's PS1, PS2, Game Boy Advance, whatever it is, I've never found one with the cards still in it. I Spy Challenger, Boulder Dash EX, which looks pretty cool, and then Nemesis, Centipede. I'm trying to keep these from falling over here. And then these, well, this one I didn't have, Pokemon Leaf Green. Pretty close to having all the Pokemon games. And then a really nice condition upgrade for Pokemon Gold version. And then lastly, we have a factory sealed copy of Barbie Adventure Ocean Discovery. So, those are all the Game Boy ones, but there's some pretty cool stuff in there. And I always mention this and I always say this, but I have never focused on Game Boy collecting other than the Pokemon games and maybe like some boxed systems. But for the most part, I've never gone out of my way to get any complete and box Game Boy games. I just get them as I get them. And I think it's crazy that I've gotten what I've gotten because, like I said, I don't seek them out. Either people contact me and they're like, hey, I've got some stuff to sell, and I buy it, or stuff gets traded into the store, or, you know, every now and then, very rarely, I'll find like some boxes or manuals at the Goodwill outlet, stuff like that, and it just kind of builds up. But I'm very, very happy with my Game Boy collection, and I think it's really cool that I've been able to get what I have without really trying, which is, you can't really say that about a lot of other systems. Like, you have to try to get a Sega Saturn collection, you have to try to get TurboGrafx games, but for whatever reason with boxed Game Boy stuff, I don't know, I just have a lot of luck with finding it, which I think is kind of cool. So moving on to a Sega Saturn. We have 3 games here. One of them I bought for Abby from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. We went to our buddy Scott's house for dinner a while ago and played some games before eating, and this is one that Abby played, and it was her first time playing the Sega Saturn, and she really, really liked this game. So I bought it at PRGE when I saw it for a good price. That is Clockwork Knight. Pretty cool game. And then these other 2 here were traded into the store right before PRGE, literally the day before we closed to go set up. And this is traded in by one of you guys, which, you know, I definitely appreciate it. He traded in a lot more than just these. There was some more Saturn games and then a bunch of PlayStation games, which you'll see some of those later in this video. But these were he had 4 expensive Saturn games that he traded in. These were the 2 cheaper ones, but these were the 2 that I didn't have. The other ones were Albert Odyssey and Dragon Force, which I already had. So I was very happy to get these. We have Resident Evil, the first one. And then also Die Hard Arcade. So pretty uncommon Saturn games there. Very, very happy to add those to the collection. I know I've said it for multiple things, but I don't add too many Saturn games to the collection just because I don't find a lot of them, and I'm not focusing on it, so I'm not trolling eBay for them or doing whatever. Like, you know, I kind of just get them as they come into the store or whatever it is, but I was very happy to be able to add those to. Those are not super cheap or easy to find games. So, what I have left to show you is PS1, PS2, GameCube, NES, Super Nintendo, and N64. So I'm actually going to go with PS2 here because it's a giant stack, and there's a lot of factory sealed games in here, but there's also just some other good stuff. So this is in no particular order. This is just how they stacked up when I was emptying out my boxes. So probably not saving the best for last here, but we have a sealed Hard Rock Casino. This is a sealed Jet Li Rise to Honor, but it's Greatest Hits. That one was not supposed to be in here. That one's going in the closet. I have the ultimate codes for Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X. I have a bunch of these ultimate codes things. They're up top there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for PS2, so this one makes 6. But whenever I get them, if they're ones I don't have, I just hold on to them. We have a sealed Okami, which got traded into the game store when I was sick at home, and I didn't even know that this was traded in until like 2 weeks later. Then we have the Metal Gear Solid Essential Collection, which is a big box here with 3 games in it. Then we have, so I showed you a sealed copy of this for Xbox. Well, here's a sealed copy for PS2. Mark Echo's Getting Up. This one was not from the same person. This one I got from Recycle Video Games when we took our road trip with Sam. This one was $2. $2 for a sealed copy. That is a great deal. We have Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, factory sealed. We have a complete Gallop Racer 2006. I believe that this one is just a condition upgrade. I don't remember for sure. I'm trying to look. I can't really see it from where I'm sitting. But the Gallop Racer games are all fairly uncommon. Some of them are in the $15 to $20 range, so whenever I see them, I try to pick them up if I need them. We have a sealed DT Carnage and a sealed Need for Speed Pro Street and a sealed Motocross Mania 3. I believe all 3 of those came from Recycle Video Games as well. And then these 3 got traded into the store all in one bundle with a bunch of other PS2 games, but these three I didn't have, and I was like, well, this is an easy way to get them. So it's all 3 one-piece games for the PS2. So that's Pirates Carnival, Grand Battle, and Grand Adventure. So there's all 3 one-piece games knocked off the list. Then we have a factory-sealed Harry Potter collection, which is another one of those big box bundles with 3 games, but this one is sealed, which is pretty cool. Never seen that one sealed. Then we have sealed Mojo, sealed IndyCar Series, sealed Backyard Baseball 10, and then these 4 are Japanese exclusives. So I can't really tell you what they all are. This is Kengo 2, and this is Kengo 3. I know that. And then I have the names for these written down in my spreadsheet because when I got them, I asked if you guys could tell me the titles, and multiple people in the comments were able to let me know. So I do have the names written down in the spreadsheet. I just don't know them off the top of my head, but there's 2 more Japanese exclusives here. This is a baseball game. This is a slots game. But I don't know if you can see in the shot. No, you can't. Above the Wii games here are the PS2 games. Most of them are over here, but they continue up top. And I have a decent stack of Japanese and PAL exclusive PS2 games already, so there's 4 more to add to that set. And then we have a couple more games here. We have the X-Files, Resist or Serve. This is just a complete copy. And this one came into the store, and I'd never heard of it or seen it, and so I wasn't surprised when I looked it up, and it's like a $20 game. Most PS2 games I've never heard of or seen tend to be more obscure and uncommon, so they're usually a bit more pricey. So that one came in, and I kept it, and it's the only copy I'd ever seen. And then we got another copy in, so that one's at the store now, which is kind of cool. Then we have a factory-sealed Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain, with the slipcover. So this slipcover actually is sealed to the top and bottom with the circular stickers. And then 2 more sealed games here. We have Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, both factory sealed here. So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, let's go and do some cartridge stuff now. Let's go through the Super Nintendo games. So, I don't have a huge stack here, but there are just some, some good titles. So, let me kind of arrange these. I want to try to save the best for last. Okay. So, first up I have 3 factory sealed games. First one is Troy Aikman NFL Football. This was sent in by someone, which is super awesome. Don't have very many sealed Super Nintendo games, but I'm adding 3 of them right here. So we also have sealed Vegas Stakes and a sealed Battle Clash. So really, really awesome stuff. And then 3 opened Super Nintendo games. We have Utopia, The Creation of a Nation, which looks kind of like a SimCity style game, but it's really colorful with like aliens and stuff, which looks kind of cool. Colonize one of 10 distant planets, each with its own unique terrain and resources. Seems really, really cool. But this box is like super, super minty. Got that from PRGE. Then we have Harley's Humongous Adventure. This one was traded into the game store only a few days ago. It doesn't have the cardboard insert, but other than that, it's got everything, and I'm pretty sure I have a couple extra inserts in the closet. And then finally, we have Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which very happy to get. This is one of the more like popular titles I still needed, but that one is complete. And I got the box and manual from Recycle, and then someone traded in a cartridge to the store like the next day. So got a complete copy, which I'm very happy with. So let's move on to GameCube games. I need to make some room. I have a decent stack here. As you guys know, at PRGE my focus was on Virtual Boy and GameCube. After N64, of course, I'm really close to finishing the N64 set. But I was really looking for GameCube stuff, and I found quite a few here. So, in no particular order, we have Doshin the Giant, which is a PAL game. It also came out in Japan, so it's not a PAL exclusive, but the PAL version is in English, of course, and it never came out in North America. So, This is one that I've wanted to get for quite some time, and it's not super expensive on eBay. It's like 20, 30 bucks, but every time I've ever seen this at a store in the United States, they want like 60 or 70, which I really don't understand, but I'm very glad to get that. Can't play it without a PAL system, but that's alright. Then we have Carmen Sandiego, The Secret of the Stolen Drums. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. It's Toadstool Tour, but this is the Target exclusive variant. Army Men Air Combat, The Elite Missions. Disney Sports Skateboarding, which was a very generous gift from Ryan at PRGE. If you guys remember the videos, he was the one who was auctioning off the Nintendo World Championships cartridge at the auction on Saturday. And he's a super, super nice guy. And I asked him how much this was at the end of the show, like during Teardown. Sam and I were about to leave, and we noticed he was still pretty set up, so we walked over just to chat one last time and look at what he had. And I looked at the GameCube stuff, which I had not looked at his booth for the entire show, just because every time we went over there, we were looking at N64 stuff. But I saw this one, realized I didn't have it, and I was like, how much do you want for it? And he's like, it's yours. And I was like, are you sure, man? Like, it's not super expensive. I think he had it marked at 15, but it was just so nice of him to give that to me. And so that obviously is going into the collection. And then, also at PRGE, I picked up a complete copy, finally, of Virtua Striker 2002. We have 3 copies of this at the store, and none of them have the manual. And I finally found one with the manual at the show. Very happy. This is pretty uncommon. And then, like, 5 minutes after I got that one, I found a factory sealed one for like $10 more, and I couldn't pass that up, so very glad to get that one. I went from not having one with the manual at all, so not having one in the collection, to having a complete one and a sealed one within 5 minutes. I thought that was crazy. Then we have Evolution Worlds, Pac-Man Rally. Got this one from Recycle. And then Mystic Heroes. This one here I'd never seen until PRGE, and I only saw it there once, and that was City Racer. So that's kind of stuff that I was kind of focusing on at PRGE. Wasn't looking for a lot of filler titles. I was looking for stuff that's uncommon and obscure, and City Racer I've never seen, so I figured I'd grab it. And then Beyond Good and Evil. And then both Bomberman games, Jetters and Generation. And then Freaky Flyers. And a lot of those GameCube games I traded for with someone at PRGE. We had that Donkey Kong Tabletop Arcade, and another vendor was really interested in it. He had gotten another one at the show already, and so we did just a straight value trade. He took my price on the Donkey Kong Arcade, and he gave me that much credit to use at his booth, basically, which was super cool. So the Utopia for Super Nintendo I got from him, and then a bunch of those GameCube games. And then, lastly, we have an Ultimate Codes for Twilight Princess. And then the last game is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And I still need Code Veronica, and then there's the Resident Evil Pure Evil 2-pack for GameCube. There's 2 different cover variants for that one. I only have one of them, so I need the other one of those, and then Code Veronica. Then I have all the GameCube games for the Resident Evil series, which they're so expensive, so I'm glad to be close to being done with that. So, let's move on to NES, then we'll do PS1, and then we'll finish off with N64, because I love N64. So, we have a box only for Pirates. This one came into the store pretty recently. Also, box and manual only for Alien Syndrome. This box is pretty crushed. It's like, you can see that it's not like sturdy at all. So it needs a protector for sure, and a cartridge obviously. Then Disney Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, box only. Then Ultima Quest of the Avatar. This one is complete. Got this from Game Store on our trip. I can't remember the name of it. It was the one that my buddy John works at. It was like Game World or something. But glad to get that one. That's complete. And then also Mega Man 2 complete with the plastic on it, which is pretty cool. So now I only need Mega Man 1. I need Mega Man 1 and 5. I've got all the other ones. Then we have Burai Fighter, which I also got as part of the trade for the Donkey Kong Tabletop Arcade. And then we have Ninja Turtles 3 Manhattan Project. This does not have a manual. The box is in pretty good shape, and I got this from Video Game Wizards in Portland the day that I picked up Sam from the airport. And then lastly for NES, we have a complete Rockin' Cats, which is an Atlas title, not a cheap game. The way that this worked out was crazy. So I got the manual for this game right after the store opened because someone traded it in. I don't even think they had the cartridge. They just traded in a few NES games and a few manuals. The manual for this one just happened to be one of those manuals, and so I held on to the manual because I didn't have the game yet, and I was like, if I ever get it, if I need a manual, I'll already have it. Then at the show, somebody was selling a box only, and I was like, well, I already have the manual, might as well get the box because it was a good price. And then, I kid you not, the next day, somebody traded in a cartridge to the booth. So I was able to complete that, which is super, super awesome. The box is not perfect. It's, kind of pushed in on the front and on the back a little bit, but it's not bad overall. The sides are not crushed or anything, so very, very happy with that. My NES collection is growing, and I love it. So, PS1 and then N64. We have one long box game here. That is the Raiden Project. So this is one of the ones that was traded in the day before PRGE, along with the majority of these. We have Cartia, The World of Fate, and I have since come to learn that this is the Blockbuster exclusive version. The logo here is blue, which is the first print run, which was Blockbuster only, as far as I can tell. The second print run, the logo is in like a shiny silver. So I thought that was really cool. So apparently I have to get another copy because I need both variants. But very happy with that. And then also Tactics Ogre, which I don't think I've ever owned a copy of this one, so very happy to get it. Then we have a sealed Barbie Super Sports. Nothing too special there. And then back to the good stuff. These were also traded in. We have Thunder Force 5 Perfect System with this really cool holographic cover there. Working Designs game. Same with Ray Storm. Also kind of holographic cover there. And also Ray Crisis. These three games I have never owned a copy of, and I've been collecting and buying and selling since 2008. It's been a long time, maybe 2007? Maybe like really late 2007, but collecting and buying and selling since then, I've never had any of those three games, and so very, very happy to add those to the collection. Then we have Tales of Destiny 2. I still need the first one, which also came in, but I can't keep everything. Sold the first one to Sam. And then Vanguard Bandits. Another Working Designs game with a kind of holographic looking cover. And then, oh, there's a Dreamcast game in here. Forgot about that. We have a manual for Rhapsody. So, I actually got this game a while ago, but it didn't have a manual, and I decided to hold on to it anyway. That was the only PS1 game in my entire collection that did not have a manual, and now it does. So, very happy with that. And then, I guess one Dreamcast game, which I didn't know was at the bottom of the stack, a factory-sealed Typing of the Dead. So, awesome. So, lastly, we're going to be going through the N64 stuff here. As you guys know, I'm really close to finishing the set, and I was hoping to finish it by PRGE. That did not happen, but I am super, super close. So, maybe by the end of the year, we'll see. I have had to resort to eBay for some of this stuff because I simply am not going to find it until maybe next PRGE, and I don't want to wait that long. So, got a cartridge for FIFA Soccer 64. Just got this from my store's inventory. I had the box manual already, just missing the cartridge, so that completes it. I am missing a few other cartridges, which I'm not really worried about because the majority of them are cheap, common stuff like that one. So I can easily get it. I'm more focused on the boxes and manuals, and then I'll just get the cartridges later. This one here is a cartridge of Rush 2, but this is actually signed by Ed Logg, who was one of the developers on the game, which is kind of cool. He was at PRGE, and we had this game there, so I had him sign it for me, which I thought was kind of cool. He also gave me a little card. It's like the Video Game Superstars thing with him, so it's kind of cool. Have a few manuals here. These complete games that I already had at least the box for, if not box and cartridge. So we have Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I actually got that one at PRGE, so you'll see it here in a moment, but it did not come with a manual, so I got one to complete it. Olympic Hockey 98. Deadly Arts. And finally, a manual for Chameleon Twist 2. So, the Deadly Arts and Chameleon Twist 2 I needed at PRGE, and I found them at the same table, which was crazy, and I'm so happy I got those. I'm down to only needing one manual to go with the boxes I have, and it's one that I didn't even want. I probably wouldn't have even bought the manual for it if I had seen it, because I just need to upgrade the entire thing. It's the worst condition box in my entire collection, and that's Iggy's Wrecking Balls. It's in such bad shape. Instead of buying a manual and then eventually having to upgrade the box, I'm just going to get a different complete copy, because it's the only way to do it. So, moving on to the games, we have Supercross 2000. This was sent in as a donation to the collection, which is super, super awesome. Thank you so much. It's in really, really nice condition, too. And I believe it was either Supercross 2000 or Jerry McGrath's Supercross was the last game I needed to complete the set last time. I had a complete N64 set in my last collection before I sold everything, and it was either this one or the Jerry McGrath one was the last game I needed, so it's cool to have that not be the case this time around. Then we have Ridge Racer 64. I believe this was just a really nice condition upgrade. This box is really, really nice. Then we have Rush 2049. This is box only. I already have the manual, and so I just need a cartridge, but, I mean, it's a $15, $20 game. It's not going to be hard to get. Then we have NFL Blitz 2001. This box is in really, really nice condition. I also think that's just box and manual as well, so, but not a big deal. Then we have Roadsters, box and manual. That cartridge is kind of uncommon, but it's not expensive, so I'm not worried about it. Then we have a complete Hybrid Heaven. Saving the best for last, like I said. Then there's the Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue. This is box and game, but I got the manual as you saw, so that's complete now. Then we have Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero, complete copy. Scars, complete copy. Then this one is just a box upgrade, and that is Goemon's Great Adventure. Got this at PRGE, and I think I paid like $90 for it, which, you know, that's pretty much what it goes for, but the box is in really, really nice shape, so I was fine with doing that. And I haven't really been focusing on doing box upgrades, even the Iggy's Wrecking Balls, as I just told you guys. It's the worst condition box in my collection, and I haven't bought another one yet. But the reason I decided to do this one is because this game's really hard to find with the box anyway, and this box is in such nice condition, and my other one, while it wasn't too bad, it wasn't great. It had like a small rip on the bottom flap, and there's like crushing on the sides and everything, so I figured I'll just upgrade this one now, and then that was box and manual only, so I'm going to have a box and manual, because I have to keep my cartridge. I'll have a box and manual available at the store, which is pretty cool, because that's, you know, like I said, really uncommon, so that's really awesome. And then the very last one here, this was a trade into the store. Knew it was coming though, so it wasn't random, and it was traded in because he knew that I needed it. This came from Jeffrey. He is, I would call him a regular at the store. He doesn't come in every day or anything, but whenever he does come in, he gets a ton of stuff, usually does a big trade-in as well. So thank you to him. This is a complete copy of Duck Dodgers, which was the second most expensive game I still needed. Now that I have this one, the most expensive one I need is International Superstar Soccer 2000. There is an English and a Spanish version, box and manual. There's an English and Spanish version of both. The cartridge is the same either way. I have a manual for the Spanish version, but that's it. And I'm not worried about the cartridge. So if any of you guys out there have an English box or an English manual for that game, or a complete copy, please let me know. If you have the Spanish box, let me know as well. I'm more interested in getting the English one first, but I would like to get both eventually. So let me know, but that is it, guys. That's going to be the pickup video. I know it was a super long one, so thank you guys for sticking around. And we've been doing this for the last few videos. We're going to have a code word if you made it this far in the video. In the comments down below, let's use the word let's use the word rodeo. So I tried to pick a word that nobody would comment unless they got to this part of the video. So if you made it through the entire video and you didn't skip to the end to see this part, if you actually watched the whole thing, leave the word rodeo in your comment somewhere down below. That way I'll know you made it to the end. And if you did, I definitely appreciate it. I know these videos are super long, but you guys seem to enjoy them, so hopefully you had this on in the background or you had a snack or something. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smack the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.